These are the officers who reclaim what is rightfully yours.
We'll be knocking on the door and we will get the money.
They have more authority than the bailiffs.
I'm not going to be leaving here without the payment or goods.
And possess more powers than the police.
They're obstructing a High Court officer in the execution of his duty.
They are called in as a last resort.
High Court enforcement officer.
To evict squatters.
Hey, it's the last time you throw a punch at me, OK?
Clear illegal campsites.
We've had instructions from the council. They want to move.
And chase down debt.
He got quite threatening.
You've got minutes, not days.
You get frightened, you can't do the job.
People don't like other people getting away with debts.
Using every tool at their disposal.
Don't start threatening people with bottles. Calm down!
And with the full backing of the law.
We've sent you a copy of the writ of possession. Did you get it?
This office in Essex is the control room for a group of the most powerful legal officials in the land.
Regarding the possession order for E1, what time would you like us to be on site tomorrow?
They are known as High Court enforcement officers. And every year they deal with over 5,000 court orders to chase down debts or to reclaim property.
All right, well, look, if there's any hassles, you got my number.
The company's most senior officer is Scott Hines, and with 12 years in the job, he's seen it all.
It takes a certain type of person to stand there and be shouted at. Once I had bottles of urine poured over me, people spitting at you, you know, like threatening you. Not everybody could do that. A lot of people would be intimidated and not want to do that. Like, that's what I enjoy doing.
If a call-out looks like it's going to turn nasty, Scott's usually the first through the door.
There could be up to 20, 30 squatters in there. No one lays hands on. Obviously, you're entitled to defend yourself if you need to.
Today's operation is to evict a group of squatters. For the past month, they have been living rent-free in a multi-million-pound office block. A High Court judge has given officers the powers to enter the building and take possession on behalf of the owner.
Open the door for me.
The squatters have changed the locks. But Scott has his own locksmith.
Open the door. Step out the way and let my guys come in, please. The stairs are there, yeah? So if you can get your team up. Yeah.
Scott's first concern is to stop the squatters from scattering through the building.
No wall. You don't go in the lift.
And of course, their health and safety.
What happens is I get people in the lift, then the lift breaks and they're stuck in the lift. And what I don't want is people in the lift and not getting out. So get your stuff out, please.
Lift has been shut down. Let's go, please.
Come on.
Many of these squatters are well known to the enforcers. Some travel from all over Europe to target empty properties across the capital. Most of them know the score and start packing to leave. But Scott spots a familiar face.
Where are you going now?
No, I need to do
right.
this off.
I remember you, OK? And I remember the last time you threw a punch at me and tried to jump on me, OK? You're not feeling your kettle up. You're going.
Can someone call the police? I want to tell
No, if you want to call the police, you call the police. There's no need for me to call the police. That's a High Court writ of possession. It gives me the power to ask you to leave, and if you won't leave, to escort you, OK? So I'm asking you to leave.
Yeah, but
Are you going to leave?
I leave.
Where you go?
It's a police only who can take me out, isn't it?
No, it isn't. It's myself as well.
An hour into the eviction and everything seems to be running smoothly. But then Scott's old sparring partner decides to take a stand.
I don't want to go around the building. I just want to go straight, put this outside the building where the bank gonna pick
Your
it up.
past history with me means that I don't help you, OK? You're going out that way. It's as simple as that, OK?
Listen, you stand English as me do, isn't it?
Sir, you're going that way. You're going that way, OK?
Call the fucking police, man. Fucking give me your phone.
Where are you going now? Calm yourself down. Don't you start throwing punches. Right, get him out. Get him out. Get him out. Out. Get him out. Get him out.
We're bringing that just out now, OK?
Leave my stuff out.
Hey, it's the last time you throw a punch at me or raise your fist to me, OK? It's the last time. Now, we'll get your stuff and we'll put it on the pavement, OK?
Fucking prick, man. Shit. Refuse for fucking you. I got my stuff.
You're
man.
getting your stuff. You're not going back in, OK?
Ya está Irra, tío, que ganas de buscar bronca también, tú, tío. Que ganas de buscar bronca, Irra, tío.
That's all he does. He raises his fists every single time.
There are an estimated 20,000 squatters active in the UK. Supporters argue that with so many empty properties, their cause is a just one and that they are unfairly victimised.
We are homeless now. How many millions cost that building? And how many people are on the street here? Maybe we don't have the right to do that, but why that huge property in the middle of the town completely empty? Why?
I believe that nowadays, like, if you don't want to be homeless, then you really shouldn't be homeless. Like, people can find jobs if they want to, but a lot of these people don't want to find jobs because they like this lifestyle. It's a choice. I don't understand how you'd want to live like this, but people do.
It's taken Scott and 20 enforcement officers over 2 hours to empty the building.
It is quite satisfying when I can walk back to the landlord and say, there's your building, which you now can like have back. So it is nice to be that final nail in the coffin to get back property for somebody.
Scott's legal power to carry out evictions is handed down by the High Court. Every year, over 70,000 writs are issued nationally to reclaim property and collect debts worth tens of millions of pounds. But even faced with a court order, some people will go to any lengths to avoid paying. Sue Ketley is on her way to Wolverhampton to recover a debt of over £2,000.
There's no point in going in guns blazing. What you want to do is to be able to get inside, to sit down and talk to them and to resolve it amicably. There's no point in having an argument with them on the doorstep because it gets nobody anywhere.
The money is owed to a customer who apparently bought goods online from this car repair business. They never arrived. Sue has brought Officer Darren Crombie for backup.
Is he here today?
No, he's over at the West Brom bench.
Is he?
She has been trying to reclaim the money for several months, but the owner denies it has anything to do with him.
Excuse me, mate, please.
Sorry, I'm just on the phone.
Yeah, let me in with my colleague, please. Thank you.
Yeah, there's bombarding here, like.
With no sign of the owner, Sue does a quick piece of detective work.
VW workshop.
Yeah.
Invoices to pay.
Well, there's post here for them, there's
Yeah,
details for them.
I'm sorry, that's them.
Your gaffer does need to contact us and sort out a payment straight away. There's enough evidence here to confirm.
Sue now demands that she speak to the boss directly.
Hello. Yeah, I've been through all the paperwork that we've got here from our claimant, and I still believe that you are the VW workshop and you are the people that we're looking for.
Even when confronted with the evidence, the owner continues to deny that he owes a penny. He orders his staff not to cooperate.
I have to ask you to leave the premises.
You can't ask me to leave the premises, I'm afraid. I do have more powers of entry than a police officer who has to have a warrant. The High Court writ gives me right of entry, particularly on commercial premises.
The employees clearly couldn't care less about Sue's right of entry, and the mood is turning ugly.
Don't let the dogs out, sir.
Just let them out there.
Let them out where?
Lock the gate, right?
Hey? If you lock the gate, it's imprisonment, sir. And if you let the dogs loose, then we'll have to call the police. We're not leaving. You put the dogs on the lead, please, all three of them.
With the dogs circling outside, Sue and Darren are forced to take refuge.
What does he want us to do? He wants us to leave, so he's let the dogs loose so that we can't get out.
Can you take the dogs away, please? Go and put them back away.
There's no escape, so Sue calls the police.
They've closed the gates on us and locked them, and they've also set dogs loose. Can someone come and assist us? Ooh, it's all right, somebody's just kicking the door then.
You move the dogs,
I
we'll
don't
open the door. Put the dogs away and we'll come out and we'll chuck you. We'll put the dogs away.
Woo! That's hit him on the face now. It's hit him on the face. It's hit him on the face. Now that's enough. Right. No.
Just get out of the office.
No.
Out.
No, we're on the phone to the police now.
There's blood on me head now, he's kicked the door in my head.
That's assaulting.
Get out of the office.
Right.
I don't care. Get out.
Just as things threaten to get out of hand, the police arrive and the men back off.
Because you have the powers of the warrant, it's different to being in that situation without it. Because I know that I can dial the police, I know that they will respond.
One of the men is arrested for assault.
If you let it frighten you, you wouldn't do it. If you let it get to you, you wouldn't do it. Although Darren did get injured, which is unfortunate.
You treat everybody with respect. You expect them to be courteous to you as you would to them. But some people, unfortunately, don't do that.
The man is taken into custody. He is later released without charge.
There's no real need for it if people will sit down and talk to you. And if it is the case that it's mistaken identity, fair enough. We just need to get to the bottom of it one way or the other, and they're obviously refusing to do it and won't communicate.
The debt of £2,000 is still being disputed. High Court enforcement officers are called in as a last resort when debtors consistently fail to pay up.
OK. All right, leave it with me, Scott. I'll just speak to the client.
But even with the full backing of the law, getting the money back is rarely straightforward. Scott is off to London's East End to collect a debt owed to the Royal Mail.
We've got a guy who owes nearly 10 grand. He did pay a little bit, but he hasn't paid anything since.
Because the man has failed to keep up with his payments, Scott has the power to seize his assets. In this case, it's the family car.
Just in case, like, he accuses us of damaging the car, so if I take pictures of any damage, what's already on it, you can see, like, there's some scratches here. So he can't accuse me of damaging the vehicle. I'm taking your car unless you pay what's outstanding.
How long time? How many days?
How many days? No, you've got minutes, not days.
The vehicle will be taken away and auctioned to raise the money to help pay off the debt.
Too late today, I'm afraid. You're over 10. You've got £10,000.
Every month 300 is paid.
Yeah, but he missed the payment, hasn't he? Have you got the keys to the car? Keys,
English,
please. Your English is good enough to understand what I'm saying, OK?
With the car being lifted, the owner makes one last attempt to persuade Scott to let him hang on to it.
One minute.
Sir,
Sir.
Whatever you're showing me isn't going to help you today.
1,000. Yeah, 1,000 is 1,000 last month.
Yeah, but what about this month? Let's forget about you paying a little bit. Can I have the keys to the vehicle, please? No, so you're not listening to a word I say. Can I have the key to the car, please?
What car, please?
The key to that car. There's a lot of people who see me as a nasty, horrible person in the same lines as perhaps a traffic warden. Just the key to the car. Do you need to get anything out of the car? If it wasn't for me going out and literally enforcing these writs from the High Court, people would be getting away with murder, basically. Have you got your driving licence in now, insurance documents? Anything in that car, what you need? You know, I can't make him give me the keys, but the more the car makes at auction, the less he's going to be like owing, because this isn't going to clear his debt. It's going to go a fair way to clear his debt, you know. So if we can get an extra, say, £500 because we've got the keys, you know, it's £500 less he's got to pay. Do you have the key? Thank you.
Even though he's taking the family car, Scott shows no mercy.
The only person whose fault it is his own fault. And he was being allowed to pay what he could afford, you know, but he has to keep that. It's gone. We've spoken to him, we've asked him to pay, and it's the promises and the promises. So perhaps he needs to get his priorities straight and pay what he owes before he goes and buys a nice car.
The next day, the man paid £10,000 to clear the debt, and his car was returned. Steve Mitchell is the company's most dogged debt collector. He spends his life crisscrossing the country collecting money.
My name's Steve Mitchell, a recovery officer.
Today, with households owing record amounts and bankruptcy at an all-time high, Steve has never been busier.
I generally try to attempt to do 10 to 15 calls a day.
His first visit is to a business that owes over £2,000 to its suppliers.
This is an Indian restaurant.
But one of Steve's biggest challenges is tracking down the debtors in the first place.
We'll go around the back because they might have a back entrance.
The restaurant's failure to pay the debt is having a serious effect on its suppliers. Steve is determined to recover what is rightfully theirs.
He's got staff to pay, he's got business rates, he's got all of those bills to pay, and he's probably under a lot of pressure, both family-wise and business-wise, to get the money that he's owed.
Once we establish if the owner is still the owner, then I'll leave a warning notice if I don't get a response now. If we don't get a response, then I'll do a further attendance during opening hours. If they don't pay, then it will escalate to a removal. So I'll leave a warning notice.
If the restaurant owners ignore the warning, Steve will be back. Scott has been called up to Hertfordshire, where a group of caravans has taken up residence on an industrial estate. The owner wants them moved immediately. High Court enforcement officers deal with travellers and members of the gypsy community on an almost daily basis. And the relationship is not an easy one.
They've given possession today in the county court, so you need to leave this afternoon, please. No, it's going to have to be this afternoon, I'm afraid. OK, I'll leave it out here for you, yeah? I'll just put it underneath the shoe so it don't blow away.
Scott knows that the eviction notice is going to be ignored, so he needs to revert to Plan B.
They're not going to leave easy, are they? You've heard him just say we're not leaving today. So I'll go back now, I'll speak to the police, I'll speak to the client to see if they can allow me to have a tow truck here as well.
The office let the landowner know the situation.
We're quite familiar with a lot of the travellers in that area.
They agree to pay for a tow truck, but insist the travellers are off the site before the weekend.
They'll use any excuse they can sometimes to stay on, and one of them will be if dust comes in that they've got their children asleep.
The tow truck takes 2 hours to arrive, and then there's an even longer wait for the police to gather enough officers to assist.
You're at the location now, are you?
Yes, we're all ready to go.
I'll update the officers now, OK?
OK. We've got 5 travelling caravans. Yep. We've got a High Court writ of possession. OK. That gives me the power to evict them. We've also got a tow truck if they won't leave.
By the time everything is in place, Scott has been on site for almost 6 hours.
The police don't have any power to make them leave, so they rely on me to do my job. I need you to leave.
Well, why did you tell us that all day?
I've told you all day. I've told the ladies that as well. So I've got a tow truck here to tow your vans off if I need be, OK?
OK. You need to pack your stuff. I'm not packing stuff tonight. You are? I'm not.
I've asked you to leave since 1 o'clock today.
We will leave, mate.
No, you leave now.
No, we can't leave now because the kids have gone to bed. No,
right, OK, well, I will start towing vehicles off now, OK? It's as simple as that.
You do what you want, mate. Listen, if anyone gets hurt, it's your responsibility, right?
Scott needs to finish the eviction before nightfall, but with the travellers digging their heels in, that looks unlikely.
I'm not moving! I'm not moving!
If you're leaving people sitting on the caravans, they're obstructing a High Court officer in the execution of his duty. No.
And that is a criminal offence as well.
They're not going to get hurt, they're going to get nicked.
It's like a game of bluff. Who's going to make the next move and what move they make, it can help on how the eviction goes.
I will not move.
I'm not taking that, I'm taking this.
You're not taking it, you'll take it, then I've got no way moving this.
Yeah, then I'll come back for that next.
We'll see,
okay?
we'll see. We'll see.
Yes. And I will be here all night and I will do one at a time, okay?
There are now more than 30 people on site and neither side is prepared to back down.
Stop him getting in now.
You're under arrest for obstructing a High Court enforcement officer.
Where's he gone?
One of the travellers' children is arrested and an already volatile situation is set to erupt.
Do you understand? Come!
But Scott seizes on it as a chance to break the deadlock.
That's my nephew, he's only 13 years old.
Okay.
Can you get him back, please?
I'll speak to the sergeant once I see you getting ready to leave.
Yeah.
Okay? Sergeant, if he could, like, be de-arrested, they're all going to go.
Right.
Yeah? Thank you. Right, listen to me, okay? Use all hitch up and go. He's walking back away, okay?
Let him come up here and we'll hitch up.
The sergeant has just said, you all start getting ready to go. He's coming out of that police car.
When he's standing there beside me, that's my son,
Okay.
I'll hitch up.
Right.
I give him my word.
I will get your son back for you, but I need you to start. Don't shout at me.
I'm not shouting
yes,
to
you
me.
are shouting.
I'm not shouting. Don't shout at me, mate.
Right. Well, calm down.
Don't shout at me.
And I will get your son back. I've
Get
just
in here.
said that to you.
Hitch up in 2 seconds. I'm gone.
Ask the sergeant.
No more shouting. He shouted at me as well, mate. Right. Calm down.
After nearly 8 hours, Scott is finally close to success. But it's too late to save his evening.
I was meant to be going out tonight. I'll tell you what, my girlfriend, no wonder she don't like me anymore. So they're just wasting the last few little minutes, just like, because they can, and they're just winding us up the last little bit. And they'll all be gone in 2 minutes. You can see them all moving off now, look. I enjoy the satisfaction of when I leave that I've got vacant possession, that I've done what I should do. Everybody tells you they're not going to leave, everybody threatens you, and at the end of it you walk away, they've all left, and yeah, you've got a smile on your face.
Despite serving his final warning, Steve has still not heard from the owner of the Indian restaurant. So he's paying them another visit at opening time.
Evening. I'm from the High Court, an enforcement officer. I'm here to collect the balance on a High Court writ, £2,506. If I can't get the payment, I'm afraid I'm going to be removing goods.
The plan is to embarrass the owners in front of their customers, so they'll have no choice but to settle.
Evening, gents. Effectively, we'll take pots, pans, etc.
Steve has the power to strip everything, but what he really wants is hard cash.
How much is?
2,500, sir.
No, don't touch his...
Well, no, I can, I'm afraid. I'm going to be taking this in a moment. Don't want to affect your business. You're going to have customers coming in here. You don't want me moving stuff out, OK? So we need to get this G'd up a bit before you get a busy restaurant, OK?
Faced with the prospect of losing all his customers and then his entire stock, the owner comes up with at least some of the cash.
He hasn't got the full amount. He initially asked if we could pay tomorrow. I've not accepted that. He's going to pay £800 now by cash, with the remaining balance in full by next Friday. I'm satisfied that that's OK result. OK, the receipt's in there. OK, so that's great.
Steve's determination has paid off, but he'd rather people just paid up what they owe on time.
Just seem to bury their head in the sand and never think it's going to happen, but things like this have taken that long to get to. This is the final straw. The sort of buck stops here, and it's if you can't pay, then your goods will be going.
At Dagenham in Essex, there's an early morning break-in at a restaurant, but this one has the full backing of the law.
We can force entry if we can't gain access, and we've tried several times.
Scott's plan is to get in before the owners turn up and prevent their stock from being removed.
Perfect, mate, thank you.
He's helping a local businessman who supplied the restaurant with a fitted kitchen.
We can start whenever you want. Yeah?
The man is owed £75,000, and after a 4-year legal battle, he's won the right to seize goods to help pay the debt.
I'll write an inventory of what it is being taken out today. So just like tables, chairs, and whatever else they take.
This is the first time we have come across such a bad experience. You know, normally people have difficulty in paying in 1 month, so they pay in 2 months, 3 months, something like that. We never came across somebody who took it not to pay for it.
It's taken so long to get to this point, the kitchen would fetch very little at auction.
this stuff's 4 years old. He isn't actually going to get a penny out of this. The only reason he's doing it is because he wants to teach the guy a lesson. And he's literally taking all this to scrap. Which I make him right, really. You know, he fitted it all out and he never got a penny, so he's taking it all back.
It's an hour before opening time, and the restaurant is nearly completely gutted. But the repossession has not gone unnoticed.
One of the guys has arrived. I'm not too sure who he is because he ain't spoke to me yet. He's now making phone calls, so we mostly get a few more people turn up soon, just to find out they haven't got a job anymore. So they're not going to be happy, are they?
High Court Enforcement Officer Scott Hines is overseeing the removal of goods from a restaurant that has run up a debt of £75,000 after failing to pay for a fitted kitchen.
Everything what's in that restaurant is being taken. They're taking absolutely everything.
Scott's been here a number of times before, and each time he's been given a different story.
I got told that it was a new owner and that the Village Spices no longer traded from this address, and that was over a year ago. And then you find things like this receipt, and the date is only 1 week old in the name that we're looking for. They are still here, they are still trading, and they're just trying to work a system and avoid paying their debt.
3 hours after the repossession began, the restaurant owner arrives, and he's in for a shock.
Hello. I'm a High Court Enforcement Officer.
Yeah.
Got a High Court writ which gives me the power to come into here and seize and remove all goods.
It's against who?
Mr. Mohammed Jamil trading as...
Where is Mohammed Jamil?
It's whatever court you like.
Mr. Jamil's property.
No.
The owner insists that the debt is the responsibility of the previous management. Scott explains that makes no difference.
When I came here back in 2012, I gave a notice of seizure to this address, okay? That all goods in this restaurant had been seized under a High Court writ. They wasn't allowed to be sold or removed.
Okay.
So if he sold them to you, he shouldn't have done that, because they wasn't his to sell, okay?
That's fine,
so
that's right.
the issue you've got is with Mr. Jamil, not with me.
Yeah.
I've got enough paperwork here.
The issue you got also is with Jamil, not with us.
But Scott is convinced that the receipt he found earlier proves he's dealing with the same people that ordered the kitchen.
So when I got this off the counter, when you had a service delivered here on the 4th of May...
Not us.
See, it was on your counter.
What was in our counter?
That. Addressed to the Village Spices. They took away used fat. Look, you've got it there. You had to pay £20.
This is lie. This is something you bring yourself here.
I brought it myself, yeah?
This is what we are. Look.
Like I'm a magician.
All the paperwork here.
Okay.
Listen.
I don't want to see your paperwork.
With the owner now accusing Scott of being a liar, a routine possession is threatening to spiral out of control.
This is getting to the stage now where literally there's too many of you and you're all shouting at me, and there is no reason for me to even be here any longer, okay? I'm leaving.
You can't go. I will break your...
No, I tell you what, you don't start threatening me, okay?
You're threatening me.
No, I'm not,
You're taking my stuff.
So nobody starts threatening me. Get out of my way, please.
You're taking my stuff without telling me who you are.
Get out of my way now.
I need to verify this. Where is my stuff going?
He needs to know. He needs to know where the goods are.
Get out of my way. It's nothing to do with you. Get out of my way. Well, help him in the legal process and do it properly. Don't start threatening me and telling me you're going to break my neck. He just said he's going to break my neck. Okay?
Why are you threatening me then?
I'm not threatening you, but I don't like people like threatening me they're going to break my neck.
The restaurant owner calls the police. Scott shows the receipt that backs up his belief that it's the current owners who ordered the kitchen.
I've just seen some paperwork where you had a collection of dirty oil from this premises last month, I believe it was. I've just seen the paperwork.
No, I've seen it as well. It's not last month. It's last year.
No, it's this year. 2014 is the date.
No.
I've just seen it. 2014.
If it's 2014, then maybe he bring it with himself from, because we didn't.
Well, it's an invoice, okay? Well, so if you listen to me, I'm trying to explain to you, okay? At the moment, as far as I'm concerned, everything's been done the way it should be done.
Yes.
Okay?
Okay, thank you.
All right?
Cheers,
no
boss.
problem. Take care now.
The oil doesn't come down.
The owner continues to insist the debt has nothing to do with him.
I have the legal documents that I am the new occupier. They should have give me time to go to court or sort out the matter. They shouldn't just close down my restaurant.
Mr. Khan has taken no legal action against the people he says sold him the kitchen. One of the enforcers' biggest challenges is dealing with political activists who take over empty properties.
You want them gone by 16:30 hours. You've actually given them till 4:30 to get off, haven't you?
They're often well-educated, highly organised and know their rights.
Are you breaking the law?
No, the squad section 144 is there's A and B. A is for commercial and B is for pubs, I think so.
Once they've occupied a building, it's illegal for a landlord to evict them, and that's where the enforcers are needed. Steve is on his way to Brighton. The south coast is a magnet for some of Britain's most radical squatters.
It is nothing like living for free or living easy, yet we'll remain doing so because we believe in it.
I don't see why, just because you're wealthy, you can buy up a load of space and leave it to be derelict when people are on the street.
A group of activists are occupying this shop, and Steve's job is to shift them.
How many of you in there? 20. Are you occupying just this building or along over the roof? Just this one, yeah? Have you got dogs in
But
there?
he has a problem. At this stage in proceedings, the law is firmly on the side of the occupants.
And this is the squatters' notice that they print off the internet. Take notice that we live in this property, it is our home and we intend to stay here. Any attempt to enter these premises without our permission, therefore, is a criminal offence. I don't have any legal authority to enter the premises. No one does. Even the owner's not allowed in there, the owner's not allowed to cut off electric, cut off gas, due to their human rights.
Steve issues what is known as an interim writ of possession, which gives the squatters notice that the owner is taking them to court.
Putting up the claim forms on the doors, prominent positions. Can't say they haven't been served.
Posting the papers is the start of the legal process. It could be several weeks before the enforcers can return and reclaim the property.
They get time to appeal, make their application, their defence as to why they believe that they're legally entitled to be in someone else's building. They're not going to win it. But it will give them a period of time living there rent-free.
In spite of the legal action, the squatters remain defiant.
Are you going to be moving out after the hearing once you've lost?
Well,
if you lose, which is pretty odds on, I would have thought.
We've won before.
Have you?
Oh, yeah.
All right, thanks very much. Cheers. They're all probably from middle-class backgrounds, had a good education, and they just squandered it all, sitting in a disused building, kicking up a stink about God knows what. Pretty pathetic, really.
The fallout from the recession continues to affect people from all walks of life. In London's West End, an eviction notice has been served on a tenant occupying a £500 a week flat. His rent is in arrears, and he's already been given a final warning.
This is the last stage in a long line of different enforcement proceedings. There's been lots of requests and demands which have all been ignored, and today is the final day. And when I leave, the job is finished. It's quite an affluent area. It's not cheap to pay rent here. The fact is, he hasn't paid rent, so that's why I am here. I've got a key as well, which is quite handy. Hello?
Yes.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
I've got a High Court writ of possession. Okay. That gives me the power to ask you to leave and make you leave if you won't leave.
Where would you like for me to go? To sit on the corner outside? I mean, come on.
You're leaving within half an hour at the most. Do you want to start changing the locks? Because I know you're busy. This guy's going to start changing your locks. You need to start packing,
change all
please.
the locks you want. I mean, but I need a little bit more than 5 minutes to decide.
I've just said an hour, haven't I?
Well, an hour would be nice. Please go and come back in an hour.
I'm not going. I'm going to stand here now.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, okay.
I wasn't told that this was going to happen today. I wouldn't be here. I would have spent my weekend moving out of here in my own pace. not listening to the drill, you know, and door being, you know, changed. I mean, it's just ridiculous. There's not a single bit of dignity.
They bring it upon themselves. They've had many, many weeks to find somewhere else to live. They've not bothered. They've just ignored it and buried their head in the sand.
The tenant came from the States to work in the city, but fell victim to the recession.
I was caught in a cost-cutting exercise, so I am in between jobs now. It's sort of, you know, falling from 30,000 feet, you know, to basically hitting the ground. And so it all starts to just catch up after, you know, 6 months, then a year, you know, and looking for work and everything else. And it just all starts to catch up to you. And it's just all downhill from there, you know, it's just ridiculous.
He wants to live in a nice home and to have all nice things, but if you can't afford them, then if your life does change, you need to change with that. Right, so we need to hurry up a little bit, I'm afraid. Do you know what day you'll be coming back to get the rest of your belongings?
I didn't know when you were coming, so
no, okay.
I can't, I mean...
Right, it was just a question.
If I had my way, I would...
Still be here, not paying rent.
I mean, I know he is, you know, executioner. You know, he has a job to do, and that's fine. You know, I get it. He's the messenger. You don't shoot the messenger, they always say.
We need to hurry up, please, sir.
Man, I don't have anywhere to go. I mean, so I'm gonna go and sit on the street, and it's not very nice.
We'll be coming back in anyway. We will be coming back. I'll come with you. We'll get the rest of your stuff, all right?
So the fact of the matter is, it's dealing with something that's disgusting in a pleasant way, yes? You know, you're helping someone jump out of the gutter into the sewer, for want of a better description.
People will look and think, oh yeah, I'm a nasty person, haven't got a heart, and what I do is wrong. But if they was owed thousands of pounds and the court has ordered that they're entitled to get that money back or to make somebody leave, then somebody needs to go and do that. That's what my job's all about.
He is not a bad person in any shape or form. If it can happen to him, it can happen to anyone.
Down in Brighton, time has run out for the squatters. A High Court judge has ruled that they can now be evicted. There is always the chance that the squatters will put up a fight, so Scott's been called in to run the eviction.
I've got to pay, ain't I? Get on the lock. Oh, that's not open. All right, go on, yeah. Oh. High Court Enforcement Officer, you've been evicted. Open the door. Take go.
The occupants show no sign of surrendering quietly, with one of them seemingly willing to risk physical injury. Once the enforcers are through the door, there's no further resistance.
Once you're inside the building, then they've basically lost their squat. Are we nearly ready? I take that as a no. What a complete and utter dump. Who would want to sleep here? Don't know. Beyond me.
You are told that if you put the hard work in when you're a young man or a young woman, you can be whatever you want to be. They teach you pipe dreams that you can be a rock star, that you can be a millionaire. And that's not the case. You are literally put into your little slot, and that's where you shall remain.
It's some anarchist paraphernalia. It's time to take back the streets by opening up the cracks in the system and destroying the apparatus of oppression wherever we find it.
We're not destroying anything, we're not abusing the building, we're not taking drugs in the building, we're simply using a space which is completely derelict and unused to live in and to live our own way, and we don't want any interference with that, to be left alone rather than being evicted.
Well, I don't agree with their beliefs whatsoever. Right, that's it, yeah? Got everything you need? I don't think it's fair, the amount of money what they will cause the landowner, property owner to actually incur, because it would cost quite a lot of money to get these people evicted. Jacket there, in case you've got to go for a job interview or anything. Oh, court appearance, yeah. Everyone's gone, you're the last person here. They're entitled to what they believe, and in a way, they actually give me a job and give me work.
Since the squatters were evicted, the building has been secured, cleaned up and refitted. It's now back in business. Not all the enforcers' evictions are so straightforward. In London, Steve and Scott have been called in to break bad news to some bewildered tenants.
Good morning. Got High Court writ of possession. Means you're being evicted this morning. Your landlord has been declared bankrupt.
Okay.
And he's losing his property. So you need to pack your goods and you need to leave, please.
Today?
Now.
The occupants are given an hour to pack their bags. They will have to pick up the rest of their possessions at a later date.
Well, it is short notice, but unfortunately there has been correspondence advising of what's going to happen. So whether or not your landlord's told you, an order from court is in black and white on a piece of paper. My job is to go and enforce the writ, what I've been given.
The tenants are students who moved from Bangladesh to study law. They had no idea their landlord's position had put their home at risk, and they've continued to pay him £1,250 a month.
This is really upsetting. 1 hour even is not enough. Even 1 day is not enough to pack everything up. It's not fair. What kind of civilized country it is, I don't know.
How long have you lived here?
5 years.
Scott has now developed his own coping mechanism when dealing with tricky situations like this.
If I felt sorry for them, then it would be hard to do my job. I do sympathise and understand that they're going to have nowhere to stay tonight. But you still give them respect and you still do the job properly. You know, like you give them time to pack their belongings and you try to help the best you can. There's only so much I can do.
I mean, I can argue with them, but I don't want to argue because, you know, we need to respect the court, what the court orders. Like, I'm not sure whether is there any law to force someone else to move away from house that without notifying them, without informing them.
This piece of paper gives me the power to do that. I could make you leave immediately, but I'm not. I'm standing here patiently, letting you pack enough personal belongings. I can't give you any further time because that's not my job.
With due respect with court and everything. But I'm asking you if there is anything mentioned that we have to live within an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 5 days.
I'm not going to stand here for 5 days.
Is it common sense that you going somewhere else and then pushing them, kicking them out in an hour?
I haven't pushed or kicked you anywhere.
It's kind of, as you're forcing.
Kind of. No, I haven't. I stood there and spoke to you very calmly and very
I
politely.
understand, you're a very good gentleman.
Yeah. Right, thank you. But you are testing my patience now. Get your stuff packed and leave, please, okay? It's as simple as that. I'm not going to argue with you any longer because you're never going to win this argument. There's no point in letting these people think that they've got even a tiny chance of being able to stay there for one more day like they would like. You know, like, give me 2 days and I will go, there won't be no trouble. The fact is, they have to leave.
Look at these guys now, kind of pushing people out.
No, I'm gently ushering you to the door. Now you're at the door.
Now you're at the door, yeah?
Yep, that's it.
Thank you very much.
Pardon?
That's horrible, man.
Mind your fingers. Done.
Right,
thank you.
This job, pushing people, making people suffer, with due respect with court, I think this is rough justice, I should say.
If you started feeling too sorry for these people, then you most probably would want to walk away. You wouldn't want to go and work the next day. You're there to do a job, and you can't become too involved, otherwise I can imagine you wouldn't be doing this for too long.